Welcome back to Gamey and MAKT2. Where MAKT stands for messing about with kit bashing and terrain, except in this case it's just kit bashing. So, as I mentioned in an update, I had 3 sets of battalions of 8 figures needing 3 command bases, 3 sets of 4 for their command bases. And I got one lot from front rank, which is these ones. Extremely nice. But I can't get any more at the moment because there's some kind of problem getting figures through PayPal. So I need to figure out how to get another 8 command figures from another sprue of the plastic marble ones. So decisions. I'm kind of deciding. This is set of 4 is it's meant to be 2 standard bearers, a leader, and a drummer. So that'll make 1 set. I'm tempted because these figures are so nice, and I can't get any more at the moment. I might make these 3 into the officers of the 3 battalions I need, 3 command bases, with a little pikey thing. So I could do that, or I could use it as a 4, standard bearers. So I'm currently thinking of doing them as 3 officers and 1 drummer. So I've got the little pack with the sprue, and the sprue has 2 preset command figures, and with 1 drum, and I've got another spare drum from a previous set. So I could do 2 drummers with the kind of pre-created command figures on the sprue. So then I'll just need 6 standard bearers. And so the options I've got for that is I can cut these figures in half and glue on one of the spare upper bodies and in the arms, and just do the standard standard bearer, except with a different pair of legs. So you have to cut it off like around at the weight at the belt. So you need to cut it off and then cut away the hand going down. And option 2 is to take the standard infantry figure, cut the musket off, and put a standard for a standard bearer, so they'd be having it along on the shoulder sort of thing. So I'm sure I'm going to mess it up, but that's the plan anyway. So I've got to try and create. I don't know. I'll probably just do 2. I'll probably do a couple to start with. Well, I'll do the drummers and do a couple of the standard bearers, 1 each, 1 with the body cut off in half and 1 with the musket cut away, and see what they look like. Okie doke. So that would be step 1. So first change of plan. So I did the this figure. I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't look right. With the pontoon in the front, it's better as a frag standard bearer. So change around to that. So you've got 2 officers, 1 drummer, and 1 standard bearer. So I need 1 officer, 2 drummers, and 5 standard bearers. So that was the first thing I decided. Second thing I realised. Can you see this? I don't know. Anyway, the drum, the arm with the drum, it comes off the body, and is held. I don't know if you can see this properly, but anyway, it's the arm comes off, and so it's basically held at the waist, which makes it the perfect thing really for ones that are cut off in the middle. So instead of using the legs that came with the set for the drummers, I could do that. I'll cut them in half, stick that one on, and then stick the drum's arm on, and that covers up most of the join. So I'm thinking that's the, so say there's 2 of the standard command figures with the legs that are pre-cut, and then if I use these cut in half figures for the two drummers, so that'll be those two. And I've got one of these cut off in half, pre-cut off in half. One's for the officer, and the other one for a second. Oh yeah, no, for a second standard bearer. So the two half cut off drummers, proper command figure for the thing, for the officer, and another one for the standard bearer. So that'll just mean 4 of these guys. We cut off the musket and cut a little groove in. So that'll be the standard bearer. I mean, it's not that great. So make up with another plan for that as well. But so far that's the plan. 2 cut in half for the drummers, and 4 standard bearers. Anyway, blah blah blah. So how well did we do? You got 1 officer from the standard command figures. They come with the base and legs, I mean body and legs. Got 2 drummers. The these are, cut them in half because the drum covers up. Take an infantry figure and cut it in half because the drum covers up most of the join. So that's quite that worked quite well. And it needs six standard bearers in the end, but did 4 for now. So the previous one from front rank, and then there's 3 different examples of the one. The simplest one, which is just cutting away the musket of an infantry figure, is the simplest, but it's not sure it's very it's not that good really, but it's easy. And there's 2 more where you cut a figure in half and put one of the spare bodies on the top, and that's one there. And this one I think is actually the second of the figures that the standard command figures. So for the other 2, I suppose I could do another one of those and another one of those. So yeah, basically it works. You can get two commands out of the 2 sprues you get in one box. So you can have 2 units of 12 if you want. I mean, it's not necessarily a good idea or anything. It's just the situation I got myself into. Yeah, I mean let's say the points to note is each sprue has 2 sets of legs and 4 bodies that you can use to make command figures. And I'd say, for future reference, if I ever do this again, you want to cut the legs off one figure for the drummer because it's it's covered up. You use one of the standard command figures for the leader, the officer, and the second one for one of the standard bearers, like that one. And then the choice for the 4th figure for the second standard bearer, the 4th command figure and the second standard bearer. You either cut the musket off and put it like that. I mean, the thing about the standard bearers is they're at the back, so they're partly covered up, and they've got a great flag over them as well, so that's a distraction. So they don't need to be that fancy, but yeah, use one of the standard figures for one standard bearer, and either simple cut the musket off for the second one, or another cut the body off and glue various arms on for the last one. So yeah, I've got to do another two, but I'll paint up the first four first, I think. Yes, and one thing I thought to mention is this stuff. I don't know what it's called, so I don't have the all ages ago, and I don't have the outer packet. I think it's the equivalent of green stuff. So yeah, so when you cut them in half, sorry, is that focusing? Maybe. When you cut them in half, there's obviously a big gap. Well, if you're careful, there might not be a big gap, but in my case, there's a big gap. So you use the this filler stuff to hide the gap, basically. Very important, I assume. So the final update of MAKT 2. And this is I say this is mostly a diary, really, a diary entry for my own benefit if I ever do this again. But yeah, so this is how to get a second set of command figures if you're using the Warlord Games plastic boxes and you want 2 units of 12 rather than 1 unit of 24. So I was saying, the each sprue has got 2 lower bodies and 4 upper bodies that you can use to make your command figures. And generally you use 2 of them from each sprue to get you 4. But the way to do it is to get 2 sets of 4 instead of 1. You take a sprue and you take one figure, one of the pairs of legs and bodies, and that make you a command figure for your officer, and take the other set of legs and body for one of the standard bearers, because there's only one standard on each sprue. So if you want 2 flags, then you're going to need to do that, and to say, and you've got the arms and the body for one flag bearer, standard bearer, and one officer. And then for the other 2, you've got 2 options. Well, first option is you cut one of the infantry, one of the figures like that. Cut that in half and use the legs on one of the spare bodies for your drummer. The reason for doing that, particularly with the drummer, is because obviously the arm holding the drum covers up whatever kind of disaster you have when you cut the figure off, cut the figure in half. So the drum is a good choice, one of the 2 that you need to cut up. And then for the second standard bearer, the simplest way is just to cut off the musket on one of the standard infantry again, and place a bit of wire for the flagpole. And the other option is to do the cut in half thing and use arms. Use the 4th body and some arms to do it that way. So you've got 2 options with the so you've got 2 legs, 4 bodies. You've got the drums and officer weapons and 1 set of flagpoles on each sprue. So then all you really need to do is so cut one figure in half for the drummer, and either cut a figure in half for the second flag bearer, or use the standard infantry. So blah blah. So this is, like I say, a rambling diary entry / proof of concept. So you can quite easily create 8 command figures from the 2 sprues in the Warlord Games infantry box. So I say there's probably no one's probably going to do this apart from me. But basically, if you want to have use the Marlburian plastics, and you want units of 12, then you can easily make extra command figures, and you don't need to get metal command figures. Even though that's, I think that's a good option if you want to, because they look nice. But if you mess up whatever it is, then you can do it as an emergency. You can do it out of the plastic water figures. Anyway, I think, well, if that makes sense or not, I don't know. But yeah, okay, so that was MAKT 2. I mean, it's a good way that I was pushed into this because I did want to try and sort of mess about with kit bashing. So I'm not quite keen on how it turned out, but on what pushed me into it. But as a result, it's pretty good. And these are the these are the Waes, WAES regiment, Dutch apparently, according to the instruction sheet on the box. So that's going to be one of my 4 line infantry battalions for the for one of these 1 hour war game type games. Anyway, okay, 2 in a bit.